ice cream. It's another beautiful Sunday morning. The sun is saying, can you come out to play? Hey, hey. Should have saw it coming, should have caught the warning.
Hey, it is me, Wanda B on IntellectualRadio.com. And you are listening to the He Said, She Said show. And every week we like to bring to you hot topics that come to us from our He Said, She Said group on Facebook. We have a group, and please join the group. We love to hear you chime in. We talk about different topics all week long. I mean, we debate. And I love to have my he's and she's. So with me, I have part of my team. I have a fabulous team, I must say, of the most intellectual people I can find on IntellectualRadio.com. And today, representing the he's and the she's, I have Inyatu.
Hey.
And Valencia.
Yo.
We have a few more, Nemia. We have KP, who round out, yes, in dots, who come through and help us. They're all part of the team that add to our topics every week. And I'd like to also talk about our sponsors. I'd love for you to please check them out. We have Journey to Wholeness Center. They're located at 9501 New England in Oak Lawn, journeytowholeness.org. They have yoga. They have healers. They have all different modalities that they deal with. That if you need help on any of these topics that we talk about on He Said, She Said, they have intuitive healers, they have life coaches, people who can help you with whatever you're dealing with in life. And the number is 708-634-3664. Give them a call. See if they have someone that can help you out. Made You Look Mobile Car Wash. Beautiful place. With today's busy schedule and family obligations, people have very little time to get their car cleaned and take care of one of their life's biggest investments, their vehicle. So they're designed to meet all your cleaning needs. They'll come out to wherever you are. They bring the car wash to you. Very affordable, professional, dependable service. And they supply the water, so they come right there. You don't have to come bring out buckets. They supply the water, everything else you need to clean your vehicle. They'll do it at your home, apartment, your office, wherever else you like. So give them a call. Their number is 708-674-4609. They can also be found on the web at madeyoulookmobile.net. So check out Made You Look Car Wash. They bring the clean to you. This topic. Like I said, these topics come to us from our He Says, She Said group on Facebook. So always please join our group and join the discussion. And today's topic came up from the group. And you can also chime in on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, please join in the conversation. We're talking about, should you choose a mate by compatibility or love? So we had people say to us, what is the difference? And our dear Xavier Fox, who chimes in all the time on our group and also has been part of our discussion, said, shouldn't you be compatible to love them? So we're going to add some, and Yatu is our definition man who breaks it down for us every week. So we start with a clear understanding of what we're talking about and where it came from. Define it for us.
Absolutely. So compatibility is or being incompatible is the inability to work together or be together without trouble or conflict. And so, of course, love is a feeling and then choices you make based on that feeling. And so they're definitely two separate things. One is determined by character and personality, things that are already in place that you can't change. I call it fitting together like pieces of a puzzle. Sometimes the pieces don't fit. But a lot of times, I know me, myself personally, have loved someone dearly who just was not compatible with, no matter what compromises we were willing to make, no matter what sacrifices we were willing to make, it just was not a good fit. And so therefore it could not work.
So we can love someone that we're not compatible with, right?
Absolutely.
And we be based on that love. We continue to see them, even though everything else isn't right. But then I've also had people say that want to make sure he has the car, the house, and never mention love. Love is never a factor. So who's to say that's wrong or right either?
It's
really
not. I don't necessarily don't want to hog all the time, but I believe that every relationship is either one or the other, or both. If you're lucky, or you're blessed, or you do it right, you
one or the other.
one or the other. That people love each other and are incompatible, and so in the long run it can't work. They have chemistry, they have fire, they have strong feelings towards each other, but the way each other are built just does not fit. It's always going to turn into gasoline and turn into a fire. And then there are other people who they are totally compatible, like it works out for the kids and the this and the that, but the fire is just not there. Not that they don't love the person, but that in love piece is missing. That super attraction. Just
I get that.
Absolutely.
So I want to send some shout outs to the people that are tuning in on Facebook. Hi, Katie Lowe, Rhythm and Flow on Fridays at 5 p.m. Stephanie, my Chicago girlfriend. She is helping. They're part of a beautiful and fun event we're going to have May 20th that we want you to come out. Speed dating or business networking. It's 2 events at 1 location. We're going to talk about that a little later. Love to. Author is Sylvia C. Pick up her books. Good books.
Yes.
Love her. Zeke. I'm trying to get you in there, going by my NDOT. So we're going to keep going with the conversation. I see you all. Thank you all for tuning in on Facebook, and please join in the conversation. NDOT says, Nemi Award said, love isn't an emotion that can cause you to behave and think irrationally. So what do you think about that, Valencia? Is love, when we talk about compatibility versus love when you choose a mate?
I prefer both. The most successful relationships have both. The problem that I feel we have is that we jump in so quick for love that we don't take the steps to really see if we're compatible. Because it's one thing to say we need to be compatible, but how do you actually physically go through the motions to find out if you're compatible? And that's what we're missing. And I think we had a topic in the group once before, and we were talking about taking a love language test, and it was actually astounding the response of the people who said, well, I ain't taking that stupid test. What's this test gonna tell me? And it's those things right there that you need to do to find out if you're compatible. I'm into not wasting time. Don't waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. And there are a lot of things that need to be discussed that we really don't discuss, because so many people say, don't tell them everything about you. Don't ask them that. That's going to turn them off. Or don't disclose this. And in all of that, if we're thinking that, why do we think the person across from the table for us is supposed to be so open and honest if we're over here withholding information? So I believe if we just take the time and do some of the things that we have discussed on this show before, do personality tests, do the love language test, if you're trying to work together within your relationship, are you compatible in the work scene? But we look at those things as corny and lame and all those things that we attach to it. So we skip that piece. And then we're in love, and then we find out we've wasted time because we're not compatible.
So I'm going to touch on something you said, talking about different things. A lot of people will say, and I think I was on that post where people said, who wants to go through this interview process? And that when you do those things, a personality test, and they said that's someone trying to sell a book. That's someone, people met all the time and fell in love without doing tests and things like that. That's kind of gimmicky. Right. So what are you thinking?
I talk to lots of happily married people, as I've always shared. I'm a fan of marriage. I hope that I can figure out how to get it right. And so when I talk to married people, they say, hey, you have to be willing to do the work. And people wonder what the work is. The work it's work to get to know each other enough to even be able to determine how compatible you are. And even in that scenario, is one thing to be compatible on paper, but it's longevity and life experiences coming your way that will show you who that other person is and even who you are, and if you two can work together. But what I'm seeing in a lot of relationships these days is sometimes the love component is being left out. That a lot of people that first go around of relationships, they went for love. I love them, and then incompatibility, and they got frustrated from that, and so then they started looking for that resume that they feel like will add up for them, and that works out for their lifestyle and the kids and things of that nature, but the love part isn't there. And so we did have a post on He Said, She Said, where we said, would you marry for smarts or your heart? The person who loves you or the person that you love. And so I have met some men and women who they're just doing it for the longevity, or they're doing it for the kids, or they're doing it because of how much their lives are intertwined and that part of it working. But the love component or the in love component is totally missing and devoid.
And they were okay with that, it seemed, on the post, to say, yeah, I just want the person that loves me. It was more people that wanted the person to love them, and they were okay with not being in love with that person because of the stability that comes with that. So
interesting. We are going to go more into that. I'm going to take a break, bring in our guest host for today. We got an extra he. Sometimes and Yatu is double teamed with the ladies, but not today.
Baby.
You've been listening. He Said, She Said on IntellectualRadio.com. We'll be back after this short music break.
Should've saw it coming, should've caught the warning. But should I taste like candy rain, running rivers through the summer snow. You keep me satisfied. I can't complain, I wouldn't know where to start now. It's good inside. Hot apple pie. I'm your ice cream. Let me melt for you. You're the sweetest thing to dip in my
Hey, we are back on IntellectualRadio.com. The He Said, She Said show with Wanda B and her He Said, She Said team and Yatu Valencia. And we got a new one. We got guest hosts representing the he's. We need some male energy around here some days. And Yatu is always double teamed on these topics. So love to have Brandon Be Smooth Cox here.
What's happening, everybody?
All right. We've been talking about compatibility versus love. When you choose your mate, is it better to choose by compatibility or who you love? And I'm like almost shocked at people that are really saying compatibility and who needs love. Whoa. I don't know how I feel about that. But this part of the show is definitely brought to you by Morte Cosmetics, MorteCosmetics.com. I don't have on runway red today. I got on my caramel, but I love my lipstick. I switch them up. Pink is coming. She has beautiful pinks. Check them out, MorteCosmetics.com. Runway red is always my favorite, but check them out. They have beautiful colors, always having sales. So we're going to get back into this topic and again, compatibility versus love. So many people are saying, Dot said, do you necessarily need love to have and maintain a healthy relationship? I don't think so.
And
what do you say?
That is exactly what I was talking about. That people are, there's a thin line between love and foolishness. And a lot of times, because we loved and we love the wrong person, we end up feeling foolish afterwards. And then, the whole movie is about this. What's love got to do with it? It's like, that is how the frustrations of relationships and the frustrations of choosing partners just based on love has brought people to the point where they like, I'll just take compatibility. Somebody's not going to drive me crazy. I'm not going to be miserable. And then some of us, are still messed up by the fairy tale. We believe that we can have both, that we can work well with someone, be crazy in love with them, and have all of those things all roll into one. What you think, Brandon?
Man, you know what? I just think that love matters. You know what I mean? If you have two people that's into each other, I just think people just go through the motions nowadays. And I think if you have two people that's into each other and, you have a lot of interest together, like that, everything just will fall in place. I just think that a lot of people get focused on the negative before the positive. And a lot of people really don't advance to that next level because they're so quick to hold on to the negative, and it affects the positive, so they can't move forward. So I would say love, man, definitely. You know, I had a chance to experience some ups and downs in relationships. I was married before. It didn't work out, but you know, it's all learning experience. So, you know, you go through things. God allow you to go through things for reasons, and you know, you get to the next level. You just learn. It's life. So once you go through your ups and downs, you know, you're getting prepared for what's for you. So, you know, you're eventually going to get to it.
I have a question. I wonder if the people, and I'm not saying this about anybody who's watching or listening, it really is just a question that came to mind after listening to what Brandon said about having a past relationship that you learn from. Is sometimes if you decide not to choose love anymore and go based on, is that some form of baggage, that fear that you can't have love, so I'm going to solely go with compatibility now? Could it be baggage?
I've learned that word baggage is a hot button word.
It is, isn't it? I'm sorry. I don't mean to say anybody has baggage.
It's all good. It's all good. But you know, I got a plan to help bring Black men and women together. And I learned that one of the problems is we communicate. Sometimes we don't know that they are hot button words that no one wants to say. I have baggage. So we got to find a politically correct
let's work on that.
Of, you know, people have just been affected. That's all.
You've been affected.
You're affected by your experiences, and sometimes that effect can be more. Sometimes it's leaning, not to say none of it is positive. Sometimes it's leaning a little bit towards negativity. And I only say negative because it's holding you back from certain things. And I believe that a person who has decided, and I'm not knocking anybody, it's just my humble opinion, that has decided that love doesn't matter anymore has been jaded by the love factor. I think that TV and movies, it always works out in the end if you love the person, and so we believe that that's how it's supposed to go. And love alone cannot sustain a relationship. You know, if you guys are at odds all the time, you're going to be miserable, and you know that can't possibly be healthy, and that can't possibly work. In some situations, I can see people would be compatible, and there's a nice medium of satisfaction, I guess, in that's more tolerable to some people than the love without the compatibility. But I pray for everybody that they get both and don't short themselves.
Well, I think some people, you're saying we definitely need both, and I believe everything in life needs some balance. Mm-hmm. You can't have too much of anything. Something doesn't work right when you have too much this and not any of the other. We need balance. But many people said that it comes with love. I want you to explain that, if you think that's true, Valencia, that you have to be compatible or you never love them. Is that true?
I believe, in my opinion, I believe it's false. Because let's be honest, how many relationships have we gotten in and we were in love? I mean, it's simple as that. Because it didn't work out does not mean you were not in love. You just learned how to love better, or you learn what you need how you need to be loved through it. And as far as what's love got to do with it, I think we take that and we flip it. And I think that originally it was meant to say, I love you, but I don't have to deal with the other mess. Not that I want you without the love.
Right.
And we've taken that statement and we've made it something else. I think both of them are dead end streets, love only or compatibility only. And we can argue which one is going to last longer, but they're both dead end streets. Compatibility to me leads to
cheating.
Absolutely.
Leads to
extracurricular, absolutely. Because the boredom is going to be there, the non-attraction. If that's not there, if you just compatibility, you can go into business with that person. And you don't need all of the rest because you're a business partner.
Right.
But if we're talking about a relationship, I kind of feel a little sorry for the people who think compatibility is okay and that's it. I think in the end, I don't think any one of us were put here on God's green earth to not love.
Well, I think I want to clarify. I don't think people are saying that totally love doesn't matter. They're saying that if you're compatible with a person, you will grow to care about them, which is part of love. I think we're mixing in love and love together in this conversation. And that's where maybe some of us are getting lost in the conversation, because they're saying they don't have to be madly in love. If this person is good for them and they work out and they're somewhat attracted to them, then love will grow. And I've been around a while, and I did have situations where I had female friends that I did not find myself attracted to initially. And because of the friendship and the conversations and the interaction, at some point I did grow to be attracted to them. But again, in the long run, without the fire for me, it's going to end up in some cheating, and I don't want to do that. So I just don't go down that road.
Brandon, what do you think?
You know what? I think people allow fear to take over, that they're not able to advance. So even on a level of compatibility, like if you're afraid of something, you're not going to be able to take that risk, and it's going to hold you back. Therefore, people block their blessings. And like you were saying earlier, just past relationships, people have bad experiences, but they allow those experiences to condone them, and not be able to allow them to advance. And to even with compatibility, like you can be compatible all day long, but if you're not connected mentally with that person, it's not going to go nowhere, and you really have to be connected with the person mentally, physically, of course, but you just got to be able to come together and be able to hold, come together and mend everything from balance. Totally what it is.
Yeah, I agree that it's balanced. But now it makes me have a question again. I listen to you guys and then I go, but I wonder if, and thank you everybody who's chiming in on Facebook. Nemia, will you have this big wow? I really want to know why you're wow.
I know why.
I want to know. Do you know why?
Because Valencia says she feels sorry for the people
when she was born. I love you, and that I really do.
With the compatibility.
Okay, that's the wow.
Yeah, that's the wow.
You had a question though. I don't want to.
My question to you is, does compatibility have to start first? Is that because I'm only asking? Is that the way to get to love? Is through doing the compatibility and
you have to have that attraction.
Some people experience love at first sight, like they just feel like they know that person.
Do you believe in that though?
I do.
Explain it, because
sometimes energy does all the talking.
I believe in lust at first sight, but
love. No,
some people share that though. You can look back and there's so many couples now, so many married couples, and they can actually share their love story. Be like, you know what, I fell in love with him or her.
I saw her and I knew that was my wife.
Right.
Do you see? You hear that? It happens. Yeah. It happens.
Yeah. When it don't work out, you can love somebody dearly, like with all your heart, and if y'all not compatible, it's like an unstoppable force, an immovable object.
Yeah.
But to kind of directly answer your question, Wanda, compatibility doesn't come first because you don't even know the person. First, there's the physical attraction or the mental attraction, or like Yatu said, you're around the person so much that you begin to like them, and then you try to find out who they are. The problem doesn't come first. It's just we skip that part.
Right.
We skip the word because we so busy having a good time that we skip it, and then we look up. We're in it 3 years, 4 years, 6 years, 7 years, and you're like, whoa.
Were we ever compatible, or vice versa?
Absolutely.
Where you go off of their perfect on paper, they have the job I like, they have the car I like, their goals are lined up with my goals. They want to build. I'm ready to build. Let's do this because we make a good team.
That's how employers look at it. They look at your resume and they interview and they like, we got a good shot at this working. And so they give you the job, and then you can do the job. And people are doing these relationships when it's compatibility. This man or this woman can do the job. Okay, we can get stuff done. I can live with that as opposed to love and nothing is getting done is what people are thinking. That's not my thing.
Is that more of a male or female type thought process? Do you find more men think that way?
I think it's both.
Ask my he's.
I think it's both. I think it's across the board. I spoke to a relationship coach, and she said people come together for 3 reasons. So we're talking about 2 of them, but she said people come together either for love, and so they experience that crazy attraction that's beyond physical right from the start. She said arranged, which that's that compatibility. He's got this job, I got that job. We both make 6 figures. We're gonna try to come together. Or if they got 3 kids, I got 3 kids. We're gonna be the Brady Bunch, right? And then there's what she said was like, that organic spiritual connection where something happens that's beyond both of your control that's brought you together, and that spearheads why you think there's something to this. Like this didn't just happen.
Like this.
I didn't try to mac on her or see her somewhere. She wasn't, watching me for 2 weeks before she said something happened, and boom, we came together, and it was beyond our control, and that moves things forward. And those are the 3 things she said that bring people together. And I couldn't think of a fourth or anything to disagree with that.
What are the 3 things again? Break it down for me.
A range, so that's like compatibility, where the resumes work out and you feel like that end of it will work out. Love, again, you feel a very strong attraction to that person that's beyond physical. You feel like you're attracted to the person that they are, the woman she is, the man he is. I can see that from right here, and it is magnetically pulling me towards that person to where I feel like I care about them. And then the third is the organic, or she call it a spiritual connection, where something happens outside of your control. Circumstances bring you together some type of way. I got trapped on a plane or stuck somewhere, something that you didn't do.
Or down our grocery 3 of the grocery store.
You all are silly. So people are asking about the panel. Do you all believe in love at first sight? I think, Brandon, do you believe in love at first sight?
I mean, again, God has his way of connecting people. Definitely, you can see someone and be like, oh yeah, you can feel it right away.
Some people are into energies and stuff. And if you are in tune with that, energies reach out and they speak. I hear a lot from people that say they can tell my energy, and I haven't even talked to them but 3 minutes. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What energy? And they're like, I can just tell you. Right. So when the people are in tune with that, then people can connect with that. But that's hard for people to grasp that are not with energy.
Right.
You said love at first sight too.
Absolutely. That people, I've experienced it. I'm gonna just say that. I've experienced it.
Well, I haven't.
I've never experienced love.
I don't know if it's coming,
I was somewhere.
You started and said, I love her.
Hey,
all 3 happened to me one time. It was range, love, and organic occurred.
Terry Connor said, who is also a dear friend to he said, she said, who was on just last week. I hope to have her on some more, said, people initially connect through physicality and then begin to fact find, to seek commonalities. Absolutely. And if we're discovering that we have things in common, the love is developing. Exactly. When you're putting in the work and love is developing, you begin to compromise and you find that you actually have more in common than you know. Now that I agree with total 100%.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna disagree with one part. No. I didn't even get there. The initial connect through physicality. That's not always true. It's weird because some people are very attractive, but just not attractive to me. Halle Berry is, everybody would say for 20 years, she's fine. I'm not attracted to Halle Berry though, but I wouldn't say she's ugly or unattractive. That's a blind man, but it doesn't attract me at all. And so sometimes it really is the energy that's pulling me, and it is not the physical, because fortunately for us in this world, there's a lot of attractive people. So you can get, some people get past that. You should be able to get past that quickly. I see attractive people every day. So that's not going to make me stop my car, stop where I'm going. But if the energy is crazy, then I might change the whole course of my day.
And I agree. I think I'm the same way, that I can listen to someone talking what they're saying and now I'm attracted to them, and it had nothing to do with how they looked in one bit, or I even paid attention to what they look like, but what they're saying is moving me, and now I'm attracted. But we do know there are some people that go, man, she fine. Oh yeah. I'm gonna find out what's her number.
I just mean so it's always case, it just starts. But I agree. In probably most cases. In most cases, it's far from the physical. I agree in most cases, but I don't want to just not it.
Yeah.
True. And again, it gets back to the mental. You know what I mean? Like, you can have the finest female, or a female can be attracted to a guy and they like, wow, but at the same time you hear them talk, you get turned off. But then you can have the less attractive person, and then they speak, and you enjoy the conversation, and you're like, okay, with that, you know what I mean?
But you do know that a lot of times what does draw people is
most of the time.
It's looks, of course.
Towards that direction.
But social media.
And then you talk to them and say no.
Yeah, okay. Social media. I'm on Wanda's page. I'm just scrolling through. All of our friends are mutual friends. So somebody says something, I read it, I'm like, whoa, that perspective.
Who is
so
that?
now I'm clicking on her page, but I like her already. I'm clicking on her page to see what she look like.
There you
but
go.
I like what she said already. I like her already. It's just pictures for me to know out of curiosity, but I like what she said. So I'm gonna say sexual. That man, woo.
Hey, but give me that 100% though. You got to know you go to that profile picture.
Oh yeah, first thing.
Did you go back and look what they look like?
Yeah, first thing I'm gonna do. But I like them already. That's what made me go look. Because a lot of people, I see what they say. I don't go look. I don't care.
So what happens after you look, and then she may not look like what you? Because the mind was there. Where do you go next?
That is a great question. So I was young when I was younger. That wouldn't fly for me. And then no, seriously. And then the definition of insanity is do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So I said, Yatu, you got to do something different. So whatever this little box is that you feel like you can only date women that fit in this box, man, you got to break that box open, or else you're going to continue to have the same experiences over and over and over and over again. And so I'm not out here looking for a heavyset woman, but some heavyset women have affected me in a way where I was like,
Brandon, I laugh every time.
I'm not, I can name a few things, I don't want to pick anything out, but I'm just saying almost everything that I've said maybe isn't necessarily me, except for being gay or something. Then I bumped into a situation where I was like, whoa, see, maybe it could be for me.
You're listening to the He Said, She Said show on IntellectualRadio.com. We are talking about compatibility versus love when you're trying to choose a mate, when you're dating. What do you go towards? And thank you, everybody who's listening on Facebook. Steezo Radio. John is chiming in and saying, okay, I got to ask, how do you get to know her energy if her looks didn't capture your attention first? But I think how Yatu answered it is that how he got to know her energy was based on what she was saying. What she was saying drew him in to make him go look at the physical part of her. And I think that is true for some people, that I'm one of them, that you can say something that piques my interest and then I will go see what you look at. But that doesn't necessarily turn me away from the person,
right? Because
what you're saying is so interesting to me. Brandon, does that happen for you? Ever? No, you go for the
I ain't been in love.
Sometimes it's not something smart they said. Sometimes it's something they did. Like I've just seen a woman in the park interacting with her child in a way that made me be like, wow, there's something else there. It wasn't even something smart they said. It was just the love and the care that they were dealing with their child, the understanding, the patience that they were demonstrated dealing with their child. I could name 100 different situations where I've discovered someone and it had nothing to do with looks to start.
And that does matter. And I totally agree. Like it doesn't even like interaction with kids and different things like that, because it's a lot of women, and I'm gonna speak from a man's point of view. A lot of women don't value those things, and
don't value what?
This mothering and nurturing to kids, and just different things. For me, like I'm single, but at the same time, I know what I want. You know what I mean? If quite naturally, if I get into a relationship with a woman with kids, the mothering is going to have to matter, because later on down the line, I'm thinking in the future, like, okay, what if me and this woman have a child? Like, I'm always painting that picture in my head, thinking ahead of myself. So, those things do matter, and you can be attracted to those type of things as well.
Yeah, I think women are definitely attracted to men who are good fathers. So I think if women see a man being serious about his kids and doing what he's supposed to do, and maybe even more, I think a lot of women find that attractive off the top. They don't have to know nothing else about that guy.
They do, and that's what causes a lot of the extracurricular activity, because a lot of women sit on the outside and say, wow, if that man is working that family like that and he's doing that and he's doing it, that's a good man. And they think that they can just swap out characters and it's going to have the same thing, but they're not thinking about the compatibility, the work, and everything that it took.
The Fresh Prince, they changed the mother, they changed Aunt like boom, it was the light skin Aunt. So there's people
they have.
That's interesting. Terry Connor wanted to clear up. She said, in Yatu, I'm saying the person you approach is because of the physical attraction. You know absolutely nothing about anyone before you even know them. So so you know anything about your energy. I would flirt with someone from across the room, but there's no necessary energy.
Not necessarily energy is what she was definitely trying to say. I agree with that. Again, I wasn't trying to correct you. I was just trying to expand your answer so that we're not excluding anybody or excluding situations. Almost every rule, sometimes there are exceptions to the rule. And so I agree with you. The majority of people, for sure, it starts out with the physicality, but there are some unique situations because there's just millions of people out here that go a different way.
And I think the physicality is energy, though. I think that you connect to that person across the room is energy. that person caught your eye and you feel like, hey,
I don't think that's their energy. That's your energy. There's a difference. And that's your energy off of what you see. Feeling their energy is just this mutual energy. And all the time, because you're looking at somebody across the room does not mean that they're receiving that. You're watching them. They probably haven't even seen you. So your energy is speaking to them, but did they receive your energy? I think there's a difference.
And man, about a year ago, I went to a birthday celebration in a lounge, and they were in there stepping, and it was this dude. And I don't judge men's appearance, but I don't think a lot of women would say he's like really fine or anything like that. But that dude could dance his butt off, and every woman in there who knew how to step wanted to dance with that brother.
Well, that's another story, right? We
that's another story on the stepping. Right? If you're a good
get you in trouble, baby.
You're a good dancer. That's a whole.
You can live like 3 rocks under the shoe if you could dance. And oh my God,
hey, dude was cold. I mean,
and not take care of your kids.
Right, man. On that,
and have 7 women on the set.
He do. But on that dance floor, dude was going. Oh, I said I had to give it to him. Like, bro, you perfected your craft. Salute.
There's a lot of people who perfect their craft for that response.
They do.
Yes, that they may feel like they don't have the looks, the whatever that they may feel insecure about, but say I'm gonna get the best at playing the guitar, and they're getting all the ladies because they leading in the band.
Absolutely.
And now the women are staying after the concert to give you that number, and you
real talk.
And so yes, that people use that, but there's nothing wrong with that, right? Or is
hey, I mean, you got to do what works for you.
And I said compatibility takes more time, work, and energy, and getting to know someone versus being googly-eyed over them love at first sight. And you are totally on point with that.
True.
I find that when the and that initial fiery attraction and chemistry is there, that starts relationships really fast and gets them off to a great start. But then in the long run, you start to get to know the person, and you don't tell yourself the truth. I didn't get to know this person. This is just who they are. You like they change, or they different, or they wrong. But you love them so much, and you dove into the relationship, and you didn't find out anything. And now circumstances in life that come up start to expose you.
So Stezo said, and so I'm going to ask this of the guys, even though I think both of our he's here have kind of touched on it here at IntellectualRadio.com, that majority of men are attracted to the physical more than the mental, which explains the ass shot injections, how much women are changing their appearance to be noticed by men. And what?
He called on Jesus over here.
Jesus for? Hallelujah, what? It is Sunday. Brandon.
Yes, it is. Thank God. Thank you for this moment. But thank you for this, what I'm about to say.
Right.
Okay. I don't find that attractive. Well, I'm just speaking for me. Like, I think the way God made you, like, a man should be able to accept you the way you are. And like, I'm a total fan of natural hair, natural butt, natural everything. Like, come on, give me a hug.
Me too, but we can't get off the subject.
What we're asking, what
about
you're asking about it, is that are women doing things to draw you to them physically?
Yeah, just like joining the band. They're doing the same thing. And the reason why is because when they were natural, they were sat next to their man who was drooling over the unnatural. And then they turn around and tell their woman to be natural, but everything that they
don't know what they want. That same dude he drooling over, if he was living with her for 1 week, he would be ready to hang himself. So, don't get caught up in what supposedly looks good, you know, a Ferrari looks good, but try driving it all around Chicago and parking it on the street and stuff like that. You're gonna hate that Ferrari. It's not made for it. It's not compatible with Chicago. And people bump into parking space. You got signatures on the bumper of your Ferrari because you wouldn't park it in Hyde Park somewhere. It's not gonna fly. So that's not. You know, I don't think that that's the only thing that dictates it. Again, Steezo, I'm with you all the way. I'm into attractive women for sure. And all women are attracted to somebody, but I have found myself attracted to someone who the physical part wasn't necessarily what was driving me. And just because you're not attracted to somebody doesn't mean they're not attractive. Maybe that's where people is getting mixed up. Somebody can be a very pretty woman. Mm-hmm. I'm just not attracted to you. I can admit all day. If they say she's pretty, yeah, she is. Would you talk to her? Not in a million years.
Wayne Lanier said, and I think this is a point for some, a nice body will draw you into a relationship, but compatibility will keep you. Now, is that the thing that when people go off of love and are drawn into the love only or the lust at first sight, or she has a nice body, I'm going to talk to her, and then you need to now start doing the work then if you go that route? If
you're a one or the other person and you have compatibility as opposed to the love, you probably are more likely to be able to make it further because it works. You know, it works. So
on the surface.
It works for what it is. It's not working all the way around the board. But again, in my short, brief experience that I had where I dated 2 women who were in a relationship or married, the reason, I interview people. I interview people who cheat. I interview people who cheat. I interview people who cheat. And man, the compatibility is there, but the love and the fire isn't there. And I always say it's the 80-20 rule. You know, that safe, steady job. You want that safe, steady job, but do you love it? Are you
was bringing the love and the fire? Were you the love and the fire?
I was that weekend in Miami. 20%. You sometimes you need that weekend in Miami now. You can act a fool and go crazy, but you wouldn't do that every day, all day. That wouldn't be fun for you. But to let loose here and there, yeah, I was the let loose person. Period in my life.
Oh my goodness, you all are funny. We are listening to IntellectualRadio.com, the He Said, She Said show. And I have my guest here today, Brandon. Be smooth. You gotta say that like be smooth. You gotta say that. Cox here helping us with the he's because usually we out.
So everybody on the panel, your longest relationship, you know, what was there? The compatibility or the love or both? What's been your experience? Brandon, what you had? You
Good
had
question.
Love, you had compatibility. When you was married, what was it both?
Oh my God, you're gonna take me
back. Yeah, absolutely. Now
let's do your last relationship. Let's go.
I don't even want to speak on that.
You're not gonna speak on that one.
I'm gonna go back to my marriage. I mean, okay. We shared something that was good. Things turned. But compatibility, totally, it was great. It was great. I just think we got thrown off by outside people. You know what I mean? Get in your business and, you know, but compatibility, it was good for me. Valencia. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm being safe.
Valencia, it's your turn. It's your turn, baby girl. It's your turn.
Which we have a speed dating event. Brandon just mentioned he's single. We have a speed dating event, business networking May 20th at Witherspoon Law Group, 3855 South Low, that we want you all to come out to. Contact me for tickets. We can help you single people.
Whether you like the way they look or you want to be compatible.
Test. We're going to do some compatibility fun games while we're there, so it'll be fun. So what were you going to say?
I would say in my marriage, I was in love but not compatible. Didn't do the work, didn't do the research, did everything that everybody else does. You get with somebody, you like them, and then you find out, whoa. And I think I kind of got stuck there because I am a chameleon kind of woman. I can change according to the relationship. I'm okay with that. Then I got into relationships. I thought I had both. And you can have both. It doesn't mean you're going to still make it to the finish line because somebody still can do something stupid and check out. So I've experienced both, but now I'm looking for both to make it all the way to the end.
And y'all too?
No, I asked the question.
Oh, you asked the question. I thought you were asking because
I gotta go
someone else
last.
asked it.
Maybe.
So for me, I
even if
would
go.
say that it started a little bit what was compatible on the surface.
Okay.
I want to have children. I want to have a house. This person has a job. It was on the surface, that compatibility that started to make me fall in love because I saw what I could have. But then over the course of time, as I was changing, who I was compatible with changed as well. Now I had the house. Now I had the things.
Right.
Now I had the children. Now what I wanted to have compatibility with was not necessarily the same. And so now what I started to look for in my relationship, I had the love, but did I have the love based on what I was looking for, the kind of love I needed and wanted at that time? Now 10 years, 13 years in, I'm somebody a little bit different. What I was looking for to be compatible with had now changed a bit because now I needed another level of compatibility. I had the house, had the kids, all the things that I looked for on the surface, I now had and was kind of needing something deeper and different. And now could I get that from the person who I chose based on who I was compatible with at 23?
Right.
Necessarily now 20 years later, am I necessarily still compatible with this person? So I definitely went through that real thing of growing apart.
Right.
Yeah.
Where who I needed at that time, I had at that time, and who I needed 20 years later was not necessarily the same person. Could we grow together? No, because now we needed different things. And so I don't know how to answer that really on versus compatibility versus love, because I do think I married who I was compatible with at that age.
When you made the choice.
I made that choice.
But people come into your life for a reason, a season of your lifetime. So sometimes somebody can be your soulmate for a reason, and that doesn't mean forever. And it can be a season, and that's just a little longer than a reason.
Yes.
But that's not forever either. And then God bless, when you're ready and they're ready, they bring y'all together, and that lifetime thing can happen. Me myself, I've experienced both, but my longest relationship, it was compatibility. It worked, and so nothing so bad was happening to break it up, other than underlying you like some things missing. And I needed that experience. That I had never been introduced to the concept of love versus compatibility probably until about 6 years ago. And so prior to that, I was like, this person was my soulmate for a reason, and I just knew it was a lifetime. And when it goes bad, you still trying to keep getting back together and make it work, and that's a recipe for disaster. That's
easy to do though. When people want you, they say try to stay together and do the work. So you think you're supposed to be trying to make it work, and you think that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
it's back to balance. It's within the person. Like, yeah, I want to make it work, but do this person want to put in the work to make it work? So faith without works is dead. So if you don't have that, it's not going to go anywhere.
Well, people are just afraid to show you who they really are. They have a strong feeling about you, and they like, if you know all their flaws and stuff like that, you maybe not going to feel the same way about them. And so we're trying to keep that representative image up as long as we can. And then hopefully if they fall in love with the representative and they see some other truths, they won't, break up with us, which is that's not a recipe for success. You're playing not to lose. You're not playing to win. Type of scenario, if you ask me.
Wayne Lanier said compatibility is measured in so many ways. We all have many things that we want in a person, but nobody's perfect. So make a list of what you must measure your compatibility, what you want with someone else's to see if you're compatible. Melvin Jackson said both parties have to want it and work for what they want.
That's my brother. What up, bro?
Hey, brother.
Okay, Jackson. Okay, the Jackson's in the building, baby. We are almost at the end of the show, unfortunately, but I'm just, people. Don't be afraid to try to have both. I probably the biggest thing that's limiting people from having both is the idea that we're telling ourselves that we can't. And also understand that compatibility on paper and compatibility in conversation is not the exact same thing as compatibility in action. And so me just even being real with myself, there's only so far I can go staying single. I got to try a relationship again just to even assess where I'm at. Otherwise, I'm talking about swimming without ever getting into the water. And, you're never going to swim doing that. And so the reality of it is life is trial and error. And, in order to find both for yourself, you're going to have to go through some trials and some errors, but it's going to be all right. Everything you ever thought was going to take you out and you wasn't going to recover from, you're still here right now. So trust and believe. You can be the best person you can be here, or you can be the tainted, jaded person here who, continues the same life cycle. I'm not even trying. I don't care what's right or wrong. Is it working for you?
Valencia, what you say to our topic?
I just think that we have been conditioned too many times to say that there's always issues, and then that pushes us a little further on to fight, instead of saying that we need to start teaching. Like I said, it takes time. We have to get older. But how about we look at it a little different and start to teach our children? Let's introduce our children to love languages and personality tests, because it will even help them in school. When you don't like that person, understand that person a little better.
I like that. Brandon, what you say to this?
Let's love.
Yes, I love.
Me too. I'm like Hugh Hefner. I love it too much.
He's
falling in love over and over again. I read an article on Hugh Hefner. He said he falling in love is so fun to him. He want to keep doing it for the rest of his life.
And some people can do it with the same person they're with, right?
They can.
That's the word.
You better.
With the one
That's why I switch my weave up, girl. Be different every week.
I'm just
saying. What you agree to be?
Today.
I love it.
Who you want me to be?
Who you want me to be? I'm swinging on the chandelier today.
Very. For that last 2 minutes, Wanda said on Facebook that she ain't never met somebody that can handle this.
Oh boy.
Fell out of my chair, almost crashed the car challenge.
But everybody's struggling. Come out to our speed date.
Thank you.
Come on out.
Thank you. Do that.
That's
May
right, because
20th.
I'm going to be there, and if you pass the interview, we're going to make the magic happen, baby. Know that.
A lot of
I'll be there.
Looking for love. I'm ready for love.
I got to shift some stuff with the publicist.
Shift it.
How your people
I ain't
call
gonna
it?
ask you what your route you take to work to beat the traffic. There's gonna be some real questions going on. We ain't got time to play.
All right. Thank you to everybody who tuned in to the He Said, She Said show on IntellectualRadio.com. Today we have a lot of shows coming up. Next up is Sister's Heart with Kim Bruno. Then we have LOL with Miss Nikki. Jaw Jacking. Love my boys at Jaw Jacking. Voices of Change. Side streets and intersections today. So stay tuned. We have a lot coming up. And then come back here next week. Check out our speed dating and business networking event. It's 2 events, 1 location. Get in my inbox, get your tickets. Please do. We love to see you. All hot singles are going to be there, and we're going to connect some businesses here. Then come back here next week. Same place, same time here on IntellectualRadio.com. He said, she said, 2 o'clock next week. See ya.
Peace.
Apple pie. I'm your ice cream. Let me melt for you. You're the sweetest thing to dip in my fondue.